You've seen all these people across the internet cashing in and living out their dreams. So why not you? Why aren't you experiencing that same level of success? Where are all the customers and why aren't you making sales? In this video, we're going to answer those questions and I'm going to share 10 tips to help you start generating income as soon as possible. I'm Hickey, creative entrepreneur, coach, an introvert, and your friend. Over the last 10 years, I've worked to grow several online businesses using my creative talents while building a happy and fulfilling life. Today, I guide creative introverts like you to thrive as business owners and as individuals. If you're like me, selling does not come naturally. In fact, a lot of things don't. And I used to think I would have to change who I was in order to become successful. Then I discovered that being an introvert comes with superpowers. I've rolled all of those discoveries along with some tips into an introvert's guide to thriving in business and life, which you can grab for free by clicking in the description below. This channel is where I share all of my strategies to help creative introverts. So if this is your first time here, hit that subscribe button so that you won't miss out on any of the new content that's released. And if any of what I'm about to describe sounds familiar to you, let me know in the comments by typing in #ItMe, because all of these things have been me, feeling like a failure, feeling embarrassed, which is kind of a joke because when you're not making sales, nobody's paying any attention to what you're doing. Feeling like there's something wrong with you, like how is this working for everybody else but not for me? And maybe you've gone here, or maybe I'm just a little crazy, but thinking, is it possible that all of these people who claim that it's so easy to make money online have been lying to us and like everyone is in on it? Of course that's not true, but this is the path that we start to go down, to a place of pity and lack and conjuring up conspiracy theories. Turn around, because we are not going that way. If you are operating from that dark place where you're feeling really bad about yourself, then the 9 tips that follow this one are not going to work for you. Imagine that you have already experienced the prosperity that you want. Picture those sales coming in. Expect for them to come in. And remember this, you are positioned for success. Every single business in the history of the world started exactly in the same place where you are right now. You are not any less than Apple or Target or Coca-Cola. You are the same as they are. There is no ceiling on how much money you can generate. The best thing that you can do to attract buyers is to stay uplifted and act as if you have already experienced the success that you want. And I know that this can take a little imagination, but you guys are creative, so put those minds to work. Connect with a fellow entrepreneur who sells a product or service that is complementary to yours, and team up to present a supercharged offering to both of your audiences. In doing so, you're not only doubling the value, but your reach. Many years ago, I wrote a guest post on Remodelaholic, a blog that has a far bigger audience than mine. But I had a skill that they were lacking. I knew how to design printables. In combining forces, we were able to share a value-packed blog post that still sends me traffic to my Etsy shop and helps me to generate sales today. As introverts, I know that this action of reaching out to someone is easier said than done, especially when you're just starting out and you don't feel like you have much to offer. If you're feeling apprehensive, start by making a list of the skills that you feel most confident in before making contact. Lead with your strengths. Be yourself and understand that you have the potential to help this business just as much, if not more, than they will be helping you. Take the pressure off yourself right now to try to be on all of the social media platforms. Just choose one, the one where you feel the most comfortable hanging out, and show up every day. This simple act is demonstrating that you are reliable and that you are the real deal. Show your audience that you are about being there for them, and in doing so, establishing trust, which is a key factor in any sales transaction. Even if you only have 1 follower and it's your mom, show up anyway. When that potential customer does land on your page, they will be able to see your track record, and it won't take much convincing for them to clearly see that you are a professional who means business. When you aren't making sales, It is so tempting to start slashing your prices, but this is the act of a desperate person who does not believe in what they're selling, and that is not you. Lowering the cost of your product or services is basically saying to your audience that what they are about to buy isn't really going to be of value to them. Not the message that you want to be sending. Instead, think of what you can do to keep your prices the same or maybe even raise them, and to add something that will be extremely helpful to your buyer. Maybe you already have people who are stopping in to check out your offerings, but they have some objections. And one of them is that they aren't even really sure how to use what it is that you're selling. This was definitely the case for me. Most of the items in my shop were printables, meaning when the customer made their purchase, it was up to them to figure out where and how to get them printed. I solved this problem by including printing guides with my items so that it was easier for my customers to start using their designs right away. The act of being helpful and addressing a potential concern set me apart from other shops who are selling similar products. Make it an easy decision for your customer by over-delivering rather than undercutting. Chances are the reason that you decided to start your creative business in the first place was because you saw or heard a story about someone else who did it. You got proof that what you wanted to experience was possible. But ever since you got started in your own venture, it's been nothing but doubt. You need to stay uplifted and to be continually reminding yourself that success is possible and inevitable. The best way to do so would be to have as many conversations with high achieving business owners as possible. But I get it, we're introverts and we would really rather not talk to anyone if at all possible. So let's take advantage of the ridiculous amount of free content that is available to us and enjoy it in our own way. I'm talking about reading books, listening to podcasts, and watching YouTube videos. I'm a pretty positive person and people ask me, how do you always stay so optimistic? It's because I am listening to success stories all the time. I don't give my mind the chance to think, what if this doesn't work? Because I have bombarded it with so much proof of what is possible. You are the average of the 5 people who you spend the most time with, Jim Rohn so wisely said. So who are you listening to and who is in your head? Do you know what's harder than making a sale? Getting people to show up. So when they do, even if they don't buy anything from you, you do not want for that person to disappear into the abyss of the internet. You need to be able to make a connection with each and every person who lands in your shop or on your sales page. And the best way to do that is to offer something of value for free in exchange for their contact information. This is not so that you can bombard them with sales offers, but it's an opportunity for you to get to know them. I know that we introverts aren't really looking for more friends, but this can all be done behind the keyboard, so we'll be safe. Having email contact information gives you the opportunity to ask questions about what problems your audience is facing and will spark ideas on how you can help. This means you will be creating the right products and having a built-in audience of people who are ready to buy from you. Don't feel like you need to have a full-blown email marketing strategy before you begin. MailChimp is free to use for your first 2,000 subscribers, so get signed up, create one email opt-in form and a free helpful resource that your audience would love to download from you. I would also recommend checking out the video that I shared on this channel about increasing your email marketing conversions, which you can access by clicking on the link above. I'm not talking about the girl who is perpetually dressed in Coachella wear, unless that's your audience. I'm talking about bloggers, Instagrammers, and YouTubers who would be your ideal customer. They don't need to have 3 million followers. A small but targeted following will serve you best. Think of some creative ways that you can provide the right influencer with a product that you sell or a service that you offer in exchange for an honest review. Go back and revisit tip number 1 again before attempting this, because it's going to feel uncomfortable unless you're confident in what it is that you're proposing. Trust that you will connect with the right person even if it takes a few tries. I would start by looking at some of the bloggers and Instagrammers who you already follow, or maybe industry friends who you may have connected with. If you're serious about making sales, stay open to possibility and perhaps reaching out to somebody new. I realize that this is completely contradictory to what I shared in tip number 4. What happened to your know your worth speech, Michelle? You may be thinking. This strategy is about creating a track record behind the scenes, not out in public where you're bearing the inner workings of your initial business growth. I was my first customer. I used to create custom wedding invitations, and well before anyone purchased them from me, I got experience under my belt by working for free and providing that service to myself first for my own wedding, and then to my sisters, my cousins, friends, and eventually their friends. Not only did it give me confidence in my craft, but each of those free customers were able to provide me with testimonials that spoke to my skills and their experience in working with me. Another customer/client objection addressed. Whenever someone is about to buy from you, they're wondering, is this person going to deliver in the way that they say that they will? Give them the proof that they need so that they won't have to guess. When you sign up to be a business owner, you're not just offering a product or a service. You are becoming part of a community. And if you want for your business to be successful, then you have to have a presence in that community, publicly sharing that you care about what you're selling and the people who are going to buy from you. I know that we all want to be taken seriously and to be an authority figure, but we also need to be a real person. Chances are, if you're watching this, your business is somewhat centric to something that you enjoy, whether that be your craft, like you do hand lettering, or if you blog about horses. Hang out with your people as much as possible. And this should be easy because you just get to be yourself. Participate in challenges that your fellow creative business owners are hosting, or start your own. Engage in conversations in Facebook groups and start new ones through private messages. And above all, exercise this tip without an agenda. You're not trying to score leads. You are establishing yourself as a presence in your niche. When people think about watercolor or art therapy, you should come to mind. This is the tip that has the potential to truly bring you all the sales that you were hoping for and more, but it will take a little bit of patience on your part. It starts by exercising many of the tips that we already discussed. Showing up consistently, engaging in your community, gaining experience, and inviting people to join your email list. Once you've done that for a few months, you will have some data to work with. You'll have had conversations with potential customers, engaged in community conversations about things that are happening in your niche, and you will have spotted concerns, questions, and people saying, I wish that ... It is your job as a business owner to always be in tune to the needs and desires of your audience. What are they asking for? What would make their life better? Once you have people on your email list or following you on social media, you can take the opportunity to ask these questions directly. When it comes time to fill in the blank with whatever your expertise is, what could be improved? That is what you need to be asking them. When you are able to obtain that answer, you can be the one to come up with a solution. Maybe it's a new product or service, or maybe it's a modification on something that you already sell. The bottom line is, if you're creating products and services based on what other people are selling or what you think might work, 9 times out of 10, you're going to be wrong. If you want to create a product or a service that is guaranteed to sell, build something that people are telling you that they want to buy. Please keep in mind that we are in the life improvement business, not the life-saving business, unless of course you're a doctor. I feel like I'm constantly dropping this quote from Pat Flynn, but it's so relevant here. If you want to change someone's life, start by changing their day. When you're thinking about selling your audience what they need, it may not mean creating something that's totally new, but finding an innovative way for delivering their solution. For example, Uber did not invent the idea of a taxi, but they listened to what the people of the world were complaining about, and they did something about it. People saying, I wish that there was a way to get a ride without having to stand out in the street and waving my hands, hoping that someone sees me. It would also be awesome if I didn't even have to talk. So the Uber founder said, what if you could press a button and your car would just show up on demand? What if you could pay them right from your phone? They didn't invent anything new, and as we know, they went on to influence other businesses to adopt similar models. In literally under 30 seconds, I can order my Chipotle by holding up my face to my phone, and without saying a word, it will show up at my front door in under 30 minutes. That is modern day magic. And you can create that same type of wonder for your customers if you're just willing to listen and to use that creativity that's inside of you. If you enjoyed this video and you are feeling invigorated to start making those sales in your business, hit that thumbs up button. I'll be releasing another new video next Monday, and I will be remiss if I didn't follow my own advice here. What type of video would you like for me to release next? What are you struggling to find the answers to? Leave me a comment below and let me know where I can help. If you don't want to miss out on next week's video, click subscribe and hit the bell so you'll be alerted when it's released. If you're looking for another piece of video content to enjoy right away, head into the description below to gain access to the special video guide that I've created just for you called An Introvert's Guide to Thriving in Business and Life. Lastly, if you have friends or family who are creatives, who are just brimming over with talent, but maybe they just need a little bit of help when it comes to promoting their work, please consider sharing this video with them. I am so grateful for you for spending this time with me. Now go out and make something beautiful.